Grant Edwards joins us, GM of Wool at PGG Wrightson. And Grant, let's start with the supply chain. We know this has been disrupted still from post-Cyclone Gabriel. Where are things at the moment? Good afternoon.
Yeah, hi Ro. It's certainly a challenge, and it's a major challenge to the supply chain. As I said last time, the major scour in the North Island at Awatoto, for want of a better term, was munted. 2.5 metres of water went through it and a lot of sludge. So it's still in recovery mode. We're hoping to have that up and running by November, December. We have got the second tier scour in the North Island operating 24/7 at Clive. Timaru's operating, and the wool dumps that put greasy bales together and ship them out in the grease, they're operational. In the same token, it has put a lot of pressure on the supply chain and continues to do so on how quick we can turn wool around, if you like. To give you an example, to get wool scoured or washed in Napier, we're out to September, October now. Wow. And in Timaru, it's a couple of months. So it's certainly not helping in the wool flow, and hence putting a bit of pressure on markets, etc.
Yeah, well, a shout out to everyone who is doing extra to try and keep everything flowing, doing the hard mahi. Well done, you. Look, speaking of the market, Grant, how is that looking?
We're still seeing what we talked about a little bit last time, but we're seeing it more pronounced, and that's those better style, good types of wool demanding those significant premiums and continuing to do so. It is encouraging for our pre-lamb wools that are due to start coming off shortly. They tend to be at the better style, better quality end, that whiter wool. They're not so subject to the yellowing that we see around, more so around those wools that are shorn around that Christmas period through to March rows. And by saying that, and I'm always careful to qualify it, we always want to see a lot better prices, but wools of those sort of better style, better types, will be somewhere around that $3 greasy, hopefully a little bit more, which is still quite a significant increase on what we have seen recently.
Grant, I found this amazing story, and I say I found it, you sent it to me, and I absolutely love it. It's about a partnership between Devolved NZ and Little Miracles Trust, which looks after premature babies. And one thing that these babies can really benefit from is merino, with the natural fibres that help keep their tiny little bodies regulated. What is going on here?
Yes, it is a great story, Ro. And it's not just about merino wool, it's about the qualities of wool in general. And what's happened is that Devolved, they're a Norwegian company, and we work closely with them in sourcing wool and providing the logistics here in New Zealand for that business. Devolved have partnered with the Little Miracles Trust, who have been around for about 30 years, donated 500 blankets to these premature babies. And these premature babies, as I understand it, have a little fat to keep them warm. So
yeah, I'd happily donate them some of mine, I tell you.
Yeah, well, one thing, Ro, that did come out of it for me was that one of my work colleagues actually came to me after they'd read the story, because we put it out in our quarterly, what we call our Wall Street Journal.
Yep.
And they came to me and said, look, they were really touched by it because they had a premature baby and they wrapped them in merino, and with that breathability of our wool fibres, etc., natural products, sustainable, they're more than convinced it really helped their child in its early development. And they were really touched and moved by it, to be honest with you. And so there's a real reflection back on the qualities of that story, if you like.
Yeah. Oh, it warms your heart. And look, if you know anyone with a premature baby, there you go. Merino wool is the absolute best thing you can get them, especially because they're going through such a traumatic time and trying to take everything on. If you can help them out, give them some merino. Grant Edwards, GM of PGG Wrightson. Well, great to catch up with you. We'll do so again next month, hey?
Yeah, certainly. Cheers. Thanks, Ro.